Is Delicia online? Is Delicia online? Can you see the screen? Unmute the call, Delicia. Delicia, can you see the screen? Am I audible? Not unable to mute. Okay, look here, Delicia, I'll tell you. Look here, students. In the group, this link is pinned, right? See, every day when you click on the link, you'll get option like this. Whether on phone or laptop, all of you'll get option like this. Yeah, starting turn on this. Allow microphone and camera. Later you can turn it off. Starting click this and log in. Fine. Allow microphone and camera. Starting I'll click it, log in, then later you can turn off the camera. When required, I'll tell you all to turn it on. Okay, then once when you enter, you'll have these options. Do you have these options? Unmute video. Marg. Who's the student? Is it Delicia? Okay, Ruth. Okay, Ruth. Fine. Delicia, unmute Delicia. You get the options here, right? Look, use microphone, use cam. You'll get options here. Yeah, it would take 1 or 2 days for you all to get used, students. It is different from Teams. In Teams, there are a lot of technical errors. Yeah, rejoin soon. Have to start. See, from tomorrow, this is too late, students. 11:15, maximum 5 minutes is fine. If you're late by 5 minutes, that is fine. But if you're joining too late, yeah, that's the reason I kept it pending, Ruth. I first have to complete triangle, rectangle, square. So this is important, students, for this year as well as next year. It's very important concept which I'm going to teach. Is Delicia online? Did you rejoin, Delicia? Or is it? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students. 6. Fine. We'll start with lines and angles. Lines and angles is basically geometry. Basic concept in geometry. It is like your addition and subtraction arithmetic. In arithmetic, we have a lot of calculation, addition, subtraction, fraction, like LCM, like those things. In geometry, these are the basic concepts. Okay, what do you mean by geometry, student? What is geometry? It is a part of mathematics, but related to what kind of study? Shape and size, right? So geometry is related to shape, shape and size. Okay, metron is measurement. In geometry, geo is shape and size. Metron meaning is measurement. Metron. Okay, it is the study related to shape and size. Whatever shape and size, fine. Studies related to that. So what do you mean by that? What kind of figure is this? What kind of figure? What do you call this, students? Yeah, three-sided. What do you call this? Triangle, rectangle, square. This is a triangle, right? Okay, the basic concept here is triangle is made of lines. How many lines? How many lines do we have here? We have three lines. In three lines, there are angles formed here. So I'm going to explain all these things. Lines and angles. So first, for triangle or any figure, if you want shape and size, or basically you call figures, you need lines. For lines, you need dot, right? What is the basic concept here? Only through dots we'll be able to form line, right? Yes, lot of dots put together, students. Multiple dots put together, you form a line. Okay. Then from line we have angles. Now look here. Let me take one line. From the basic I'll start. Look here. This is a line. I draw a dot here, two dots, and I'll name it as AB. These two dots indicate endpoints, which means the line doesn't further move towards left or right. It doesn't move. These are endpoints. You call it as line. Line AB. Line AB, for example, it can be 5 centimeters. Next, a line with one dot and an arrow like this. What do you call this? Do you all remember your 6th standard concept, 6th and 7th? What do you call it? When arrow is given, you call ray, right? What does this mean, students? At point A, the value is stopped. It doesn't move on the left hand side. But on right hand side, is it finite or infinite length? Same like numbers. Infinite length. Infinite values. Yes, it goes on, infinite. Same like numbers. Finite number, infinite numbers. Infinity, undefined, all those things. Infinite. This is about lines. We have two types of lines. One is solid like this. Okay, where you'll have two endpoints, which means the value doesn't move towards left or right. Next, we have ray. After that, when two lines are put together, you form an angle. You get an angle. Look, let me take one line AB. So usually they don't always draw dot, students. This indicates the line is completed. It is finite line. It's a finite line with two different points AB. Like this. I'll take another line CD. See, there are two lines like this, AB, and I'll name it as AC. Now what I'll join this, there are two common points A, I'll join it together, A and C. So total how many lines do we have here? Can you tell me how many lines are there? Total two lines, right? Total two lines. Then whatever line, whatever point where two lines meet, what do you call this? You will know the name? We call it as no, vertex. The point we call vertex. So vertex is just a point. In the beginning I explained point. Okay, point is a vertex. When two lines meet together, that point you call it as vertex. And the distance between them, what do you call the distance between them? This you call it as angle. Look at the difference. Which one has greater angle? ABC or XYZ? Which one's angle is wider? Which one has wider angle, students? ABC or XYZ? XYZ angle is wider, right? So the more you open these two sides, the more wider you open, the greater the size of the angle. The more wider you open, the greater will be the size. Look at this. I'll open it even more further. X, Y, Z. Is the angle formed small or less? It's greater than the other two, right? Isn't it greater than the other two? Yes. So it goes on increasing. The more wider you open, it goes on increasing. The lesser you close it like this. Now is the angle formed greater or smaller than the other three? PQR, smaller. So the more closer you close it, example the door. Look at the door. The more you close it, the angle reduces. The wider you open the door, okay, it may be your room door or all entrance door, anything, or gate. The wider you open, the angle increases. So this is known as angle. Angle is the value, inner value. Now, based on angles, I'll teach you a few things. Okay, now when 2 points are given, students, 2 points, A and B, how do you measure the distance between them? What are the instruments we use to measure the distance between A and B? We use a scale, right? If it is very small, we use a scale. If you are writing it on a notebook, we use a scale. If you are writing it on a wall or on the floor, what do we use? We use a measuring tape, right? To measure the distance between them, measuring tape. So to measure the distance between 2 points, we use a scale and measuring tape. But to measure an angle, do we use scale to measure angle? Is it possible? Is it possible to measure angle using a scale? No, right? It's not possible. That is when they found out what's the instrument we call to find angle? Which instrument do we use? We use, what do you call this? Protractor. Yes, protractor. Now look here. Let me draw two lines. As I explained in the beginning, these are two lines. First line. What do you call this line? Horizontal or vertical? Horizontal. Whichever is flat, whichever line is flat, you call horizontal. Okay, whichever line is straight like this, you call vertical. Straight. And the line which is like this, which is not straight, you call slanting. Understood the difference? Vertical, slanting, and horizontal? Okay, this is slanting, students. Slanting. Now I'll draw 3 points, A, B, C. And this is the angle formed. To measure this angle, look here. Is it possible if I use a scale? Can I measure it? Tell me, is it possible or not to measure the angles? You can't, right? Angle doesn't come in centimeters. Angle comes in degree, the unit. Okay. Now look here. If you want to measure the distance between 2 points, we use a scale, students. And what's the distance? For example, 5. 5 what? What will you write next to 5? 5 kgs or 5 hours or what will you write? 5 centimeters. What are the possible measurements we write? 5 centimeters or 5 meters, 5 kilometers. These are the distance, right? These are the distance. Measuring, we call it as units. What do you call them? All these are known as units. Yeah, for example, now it is 11:45. Oh, the power is gone. Am I audible? Can you see the screen? Okay, there is power cut. Fine. Now let me take 2 hours, students. 2 hours. How many hours do we conduct class? Every day we conduct 1 hour, right? 1 hour or 60 minutes. All these minutes, hours are all called as units. What do you call them? Units. In the same way, when we measure angles, we measure in terms of degree. Look, you keep the protractor where we have 2 common points. That is nothing but vertex. Okay, we always keep the protractor on vertex. So theory practically you'll have done all this calculation, but theoretically I'll explain again. What is the angle formed? Can you tell me the angle formed? 20 degrees, right? The angle is 20 degrees. So this is 20. 20 and degree. Top of 20, we draw a small circle like this. This indicates the unit. The small dot on top of 20, it indicates units. For example, 2 hours, 5 centimeter, 20 centimeters. So for degree, for angles, we don't write any centimeters. Instead, we write degrees. In trigonometry, we learned, right, 90-degree angles, 60-degree, 50-degree. So this is 20 degree. Next, I'll draw another line like this. To measure this, same. Keep it on vertex. Tell me the angle formed here. What's the angle formed? Look at the protractor, students. What's the angle? Inner value. Look at the inner value. 45 degrees. 45. So 45. I'll draw another line like this. 45. And this one, 90 degrees. Okay, what about the blue one, students? Almost 90 degrees. It is 90 degree. So these are the different types of angles: 20 degree, 45, 90 degree. Now if I draw another line, let me draw another red line here outside. Now tell me the angle. What's the angle formed? It's in between 120 and 130, right? 125, 125, right? 125 degrees. Okay, now a straight line. How much is a straight line? Can you see the straight line? What's the total value of a straight line? 180 degree, not 0. 180. From 0, it moves all the way, right? 180 degrees. 180 degrees. See the center, I'll keep it here. Look, there are I'll draw a lot of lines here. See, even if you know this, concentrate. All the topics are related to lines and angles, students. Geometry, whatever we are going to study further, everything is related to lines and angles. See, this is center. I'll draw lines like this: 1, 2, and the third one. Okay, tell me the first line, first blue line, what's the angle formed? 110 degrees. Yeah, next one, 110. Next one, 150. Look at the inner value, students. Inner, 150. Then the third one is 180. What kind of line is 180? Isn't it a straight line? Isn't it a straight line? So 180 degree is always a straight line. So what are the angles we have, students? This protractor, what's the total value of a protractor? From 0 to 180. From 0 to 180. This is a semicircle. Is it a full circle or half circle? It's a half circle, right? Yeah, half circle. Now the same protractor, if I turn it like this, can you see again a 180 degrees formed in the bottom, right? 180 and 180. So what's the value of a complete circle, students? What's the value of a full circle? 180 plus 180, 360 degrees. 360 degree. See, 180, yes, 180 plus 180 is 360. A protractor, for a full circle, we need two protractors, 180 degrees. Okay, now in terms of lines and angles, in angles we have a lot of concept. Now look here. Total value is 180, right? Total value is 180. Okay, what is this angle formed here, students? What's the value formed? Let me mark it like this. Around 110? Somewhere around 110? Okay, if this is 110, if this value is 110, this is 110 degrees. What will be the remaining value? What's the total value, students? What's the total value? What's the total value of a protractor? 180 degrees? Okay, calculate the other part, the other one, the red one. Look at this, the red one. How do you calculate the red one? Total is 180. Total value is 180 minus minus 110. 180 minus 110 is 70 degree. What's the other part? The other part is 70 degrees. So this all this you have to, yes, all these formulas we use to calculate. Okay, for now remember angles, angle concept. This is how you measure angles. Fine. Next one, I'll tell you how to name the angles. How to name the angles. Now measurement is done. We know how we measure the angles, vertices. Now look here. When I draw 2 points like this or a line, you write it as line AB. If this is 5 centimeters, you write it as AB is equals to 5 centimeters, right? This is how we usually mark, right? AB is equals to 5 centimeters. But when angle is given, students, when angle is given like this, look, when angle is given like this and you write A, B, C and you write 30 degrees, what's the angle formed here? What's the angle formed? 30 degrees. So what are the three alphabets here? What are the three alphabets? We have A, B and C, 30 degree. We just don't write A, B, C. See here we write A, B. It's a straight line. But for angles, we draw this symbol. Look at this symbol, we reduce it. The same size, we reduce it like this, A, B, C. And where is the angle formed? Where is the angle formed? A, B or C? On which vertex? B. So that alphabet, remember this, that alphabet should always be in the center. You can't write ACB here. This is wrong. You can't write BAC. Even this is wrong. The reason is whichever angle is in between. Look, we'll start from A. How is the angle formed? From A, it goes to B and then it goes to C. Right? From A, it goes to B and then to C. You can write it like this. Or what's the other way, students? How is the other way you can write? From C, you can move to B and from B, you can move to A. So you can write like this, C, B, A. Make sure B lies in between 30 degrees. And the last step is you can write it like this from starting point to end point, or simply you can write it as angle B is equals to 30. Make a note of this. There are three ways to write the angles. If it is a straight line, we'll write AB is 5 centimeters. But here we just can't write ABC is 30 degrees. You have to write the diagram, angle diagram. So angle ABC is 30, angle CBA you can write, or just angle B. Just mark it as angle B. Delicia, are you online? Ananya, Delicia, did you understand? Ruth, Kia. Okay. Okay. What about Dia? Ania, Dia. Yeah, relate and study students. For line we call AB 5 centimeters. Angles, angle ABC 30 degrees, 50 degrees, 40 degrees, all those things. And this is how you write the angles. ABC, CBA, angle B. Okay, next. Now two lines. I have taught you only two lines. Now what we'll do is we'll take three lines. Let me take AB, BC, and I'll connect 3 lines. Okay. Now, how many vertices did we get, students? How many vertices are there total? Total, there are 3 vertices. Can you tell me all 3 vertices? A, B, and C. We don't call them angle. I'm just talking about the points, vertices. Okay. That is how you identify. We're not talking about the value, the angle. We are talking about the vertices, 3 points. So for single point, we call vertex. For single point, we call vertex. For all 3 points together, we call vertices. Okay, now tell me number of sides. How many sides does it have? How many sides? Side is nothing but the line formed. What are the 3 lines formed, students? AB is 1 line. Next, from B to C, and C to A. See, if I draw a straight line AB, 5 centimeters, the way you have, how do we name this? AB 5 centimeters, you write it together, right? AB is equal to 5 centimeters. See, why do they write like this? The meaning of this is the starting point. What's the starting point in AB? What's the starting point in AB? A, right? A. What's the ending point? What's the ending point? B. That is why they indicate like this. Okay, there is a reason. You can start from A, you can end it in B. You can start from B or you can end it in A. You can even write it as BA is equals to 5. So these two are nothing but one is starting point and the other one is ending point. That is why we write in sides. When we talk about sides, we have 3 sides: AB, BC, and CA. Those are the starting points and ending points. So 3 sides will have 3 vertices and will have 3 angles. Okay, we'll have 3 angles. Now let us start from angle, students. Angle is most important. It is very easy to figure out vertices and sides. Now angles. Okay, we'll start from angle A. What's the first way to start angle A? What's the first way to write angle A? From B, AC, right? From B you can write angle. What do we write? Angle BAC, comma. Next, from which point you can start? From C we can start CAB, or just you can just write angle A. Now tell me for B, students, for angle B, what are the 3 ways to write for angle B? Correct. ABC, or angle. Very good. ABC, CBA, or angle B. Completed. Right for angle C. Most of the questions they'll give it as BCA, CBA, A, all these things. So if any question year after geometry, actually 9th standard itself, I should have taught, but few students joined late and few students have joined this year. All this is 9th standard concept. ABC, BCA, and this. Next for C, what are the different ways to write for C? C. Yes, see, it is very simple, students. For angle C, let me write C in between. The other 2 sides, what should I write? If C is in between, what are the other alphabets present? AB and BA. So you can write it as ACB, BCA, A, and C. Okay, now what does this indicate? Let me take any one thing. ACB. Look, in ACB, what is A, students? What is A? Is it starting point or ending point? Yes, A is the starting point. A is the starting point. B is the ending point where the line ends. Starting, ending. C is the angle formed. C is the angle. Starting point, ending point, and angle. These are the 3 ways to write. On all these 3, it's the same. There are 3 ways to write for each angle. So how many angles are formed here? How many angles do we have? How many angles are formed? Angle A, B, C, right? Total, how many angles do we have? Three angles. Yes, angle A, comma, angle B, angle C. Most of them will follow like this. And I'll tell you the difference between just writing ABC or angle ABC here. Angle ABC and angle B. Both are same, but I'll tell you the difference later. I'll tell you the difference when to write like this, angle ABC, and when to mention just angle B. Okay, this is vertices, sides, and angle. Fine, I'll explain it now the different way. Next, all these angles are formed inside the triangle or outside? Are they formed inside or outside? Inside. So in angles, there are two types: interior angle and exterior angle. Have you heard the word of interior angle and exterior? Interior. Interior meaning is inside. Exterior meaning is outside. Exterior, X is out. Like exit. Even in exit, you can see the word X, meaning is out. Interior angles are inside angles. Angles formed inside. And exterior angles are angles formed outside. So even angles, there are two types. One which will form interior and the other one which will form on the exterior. Now interior is done. Interior will have three angles. Now let me teach all exterior angle. See, same triangle A, B, C. I'll extend this line, students. I'll extend this line like this. And I'll name it as D. I'll name it as D. Can you see another angle is formed here? Another angle is formed, right? Okay, what do you call this angle? In the first diagram, can I simply call it as angle C? Okay, now on which vertex two angles are formed, students? Which vertex two angles are formed in the second diagram? On which vertex two angles are formed, interior and exterior? On vertex C. C, right? Look here. So on vertex C, two angles are formed. Can you all tell me two angles? Interior angle. What is the interior angle formed? How do you name this interior angle? A, C, B. Yes. How do you name the exterior angle? Exterior angle starts from, look at the diagram. A, C, D. How is exterior angle formed? Angle A, C, D. So this angle CS, wait, the screen is stuck. Okay, this angle C is split into two parts. That is ACB and ACD. Remember this, students, whenever any vertex is split into two parts, that is when we use these type of angles. That is when you write ACB, ACD. What about A and B? Are A and B split into two angles or is it a single angle? Single angle. So for A and B, remember A and B, you can just write it like this. Yeah, you can normally write it like angle A and angle B. Because there is no other angle split. We don't have any other angle. It is only A and B. But when it comes to C, students, when it comes to C, how many angles do we have? We have two angles. Okay. So if you just write angle C, we will get confused. If you just write angle C, it means the entire thing. Look, angle C means the entire thing. The entire green one, the blue one. When I talk about angle C, it's the entire blue one, which is interior and exterior. So in general, we don't write angle C. We'll write this into two parts, angle ACB or angle ACD. Angle ACB or angle ACD. Now tell me which one is interior and which is exterior here? In these two, which is interior and exterior? ACB is interior or exterior? Exterior. Yes, interior and exterior. Very good. Interior and exterior. Angle is done, vertex is done, vertices, then sides are done. Now I'll give you a few more examples on how to name the angles. Few more examples. Okay. What are the three angles formed here? Do we have any other angles or just a single angle is formed? All three sides only single angle is formed, right? So how do you name them? You can simply write angle P, angle Q, R. Very good. Now what I'll do? I'll split this angle P into two parts. I'll name it as O. Now can you see which angle is split into two parts? Which angle? Angle P, right? Angle P. Yes, it is split into two parts. What are the two parts? Angle QPO and the other one is no, P is in center. Very good. OPR. Look, we have two angles here. Two angles. Two angles. Now, if you keep a protractor and measure the entire angle, if you measure, imagine the entire angle of angle P is 70 degrees. The entire value is 70 degree. Angle PQPO, students. If angle QPO is 30 degree, what about angle OPQ, OPR? What will be the remaining value? What will be the remaining? Okay, let me write it here. See, the entire value of angle P is 70 degrees. Entire value 70. If just QPO is 40 degree, now tell me the value of the other half, other part. What will be the value? 30 degree, right? 40 plus 30 will make 70. Understood when to write angles like this? To split and write? Yes. Okay, look here. Now entire angle P is 70 degree. If they ask you the entire value of angle P, we call 70, we say 70 degrees. If they ask only QPO, what's the value of QPO? Why is Kia not answering? Kia, Diya, Ananya, Ruth? I can hear. Sir, I'm answering, sir. I can hear only Diya answering. Diya and Anya answering. Only these two students. No, angle P is 70 degree. I'm asking about QPO. Just one part. What is QPO value? 40. See, where is QPO? Where is QPO, students? You're not even able to see the value. QPO, right? Green one. 40 degrees. What about OPR? Look here. Look at the diagram from OPR. This is another triangle. Yes. So total how many triangles do we have now? Total how many triangles? Two triangles. Two triangles. This is the reason you split and write the angles. Whenever the angle is divided into two parts, we split 40 degrees, 30 degrees. But overall angle P, what's the value of overall angle P? What's the value? What's the value of angle P? The total value 70 degrees. Okay, 70. Yes, 70 degree. And when you split and write, you write it like this. This is not only for triangle. It's not only for triangle, for square, I mean rectangle, parallelogram, any other, you take any object like this, any other diagram. A, B, C, D. It is a four-sided figure. Later I'll explain tomorrow. Four-sided figure. How many vertices do we have here? How many points? Vertices? 4. What are the vertices? A, comma, B, comma, C, comma, D. See, it is just a point, students. A is just a point. That's why you just write A. B is also just a point. Next, how many sides are there? How many sides? We have 4 sides. Yeah, what are those 4 sides? A is the starting point and B is the ending point. A to B. B is the starting point. C is the ending point. B to C. Next. CD, and DA. You can write however you want. Yeah, you can write however you want. You can write even BA. Yeah, you can write it in reverse. BA, CB, DC, AD. So direction, when we talk about direction, there are only two types. In reference, we give clockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction. Okay, you all know what is clockwise and anti-clockwise, right? Hmm. Clockwise is like same clock, how the hands of clock moves, like this. This is clockwise. Okay. If you start from 12 in the opposite direction, anti-clockwise. So even angles, the way you write, it doesn't depend on which direction you write. It can be clockwise or anti-clockwise. It doesn't matter. Fine. Now what I'll do is we have four angles. Can you name all the four angles? Is these four Are these four angles split into two parts, or is it a single angle given? Single, right? All four have single angles. Yes, it is not split. So angles is equals to, what are the four angles we have? Angle A, comma, angle B, comma, angle C, comma, angle D. Now what we'll do is, yes, I just draw a line like this, A to C. We call it as diagonal. Again, I'll explain that later. This line AC. Now this line AC splits which two angles into 2 points? Which two angles, students? This line splits angle A into 2 points. Angle A. So here of, yes, we no more write angle A. If you call angle A, it's the entire value. Now what I'll do, I'll just name it as 30 degree. Now where is this 30 degree formed? Where is this 30 degree? Yes, what is the starting point for this 30 degree? What's the starting point? What's No. Yeah, B or C. Can I name it as B or C? Not A. Who's telling A? A is the angle formed. What's the starting point? C. C is the starting point. And what's the ending point? Ending point is B. So how do you write this? Angle CAB, or you can write angle BAC. What's the value of CAB or BAC? What's the angle formed? 30 degrees. Okay, what's the other part? The other part I'll give it as 50 degrees. Now can you tell me, how do you name the other angle? What's the starting point? CAD or DAC? 50 degrees. Okay, now I'll name it for C, students. You all write and tell me 40 degrees here, 35 degrees. Yes, name the angle for C. Okay, what's the total angle for A, students? 1 minute, 1 minute. Before going to C, what's the total angle for A? Total angle for A, 50 plus 30, angle A is equals to 80. Yes, first go through this. Observe what I have written. When we talk about angle A, it's the complete angle 80. When we talk about 30 degrees, just a part of it. CAB, CAD. Understood? Is it clear? All of you all understood this? Okay, now write for angle C, students. Yeah, write it for angle C. Total value and how the angles are split for angle C. Completed. Yes, tell me the other two angles formed, students. On angle C, what is the starting point? How can I write it? Very good. ACD, I can write it as ACD or DCA, that is equals to 40 degrees. Next, for 35 degrees, how do you write? Hmm. Or is equals to 35 degrees. You just see your textbook, if diagrams are given. Most of the questions will be written like this. So that time you won't have an idea. You'll think everything is same. It's not the same. Whenever angles are split, you write it like this. If you want to write it together, you just write angle C. The common mistake what students do is for 35 degrees, they misunderstand it as angle C. They write angle C is 35 degrees. Is it correct? Is angle C 35 degrees? No. Angle C is not 35. This is wrong. What is angle C value? When I talk about angle C, it's the complete value. 40 plus 35, 75. So if you want to write 35 degrees, if you want to name angle for 35, it is not angle C. That is wrong. For 35, you write it as ACB or angle BCA. Even most of you all would have written, right? All these days, if you wouldn't have known this topic, you would have just written angle C 35 degrees, angle C 40 degrees. Generally, they write of angle C 35, angle C 40. That is wrong. This is how you split and write. Fine. So angle is done, student. Okay, one more question, one more topic on angles. Is Delicia online? Delicia, Ruth, did you all understand? They're answering. Okay, look here. A, P, Q, R. O. Fine. How do you write for 30 degrees, students? All of you will answer this. How do you write angle 30 degrees here? Where is angle 30 degree mentioned? How do you name that angle? For 30 degrees, how do you name the angle? Angle Q OAQ. Or you can write QAO, QAO, even this is fine, 30 degrees. Okay, like this, I want you all to write for 30 degrees, for 40 degrees. Tell me for 40. Hmm. Okay, PA or OAP. Usually how we start is for 40 degree, you can write even OAP, that is fine. Not an issue. But we always start from left hand side, PAO. Okay, we give preference from left hand side. PAO is equals to 40. Now tell me the total angle of A, students. What is total angle A? What is angle A? Total value? Through this, very good. Through this, we learned another concept, that is angle A is split into how many parts? Angle A is split into two parts. What are those two parts? Yeah, what are those two parts? PAO plus PAO plus OA Q OAQ. From left hand we start. Yes, from left hand we start. OAQ. Even QOA is also fine. QA is also fine. See, this is how you write statement. In explanation, I explained. We know the 30 degree and 40 degree, right? Now look here, students. When I'm teaching, I'm communicating with you all. You're able to hear, right? Whatever I'm teaching. Right? Yeah, this is communication. I'm communicating to you all. We are connected through this one, Google Meet, so you all can hear it. But when you're writing it in test paper, when you're writing the answer in exam paper, the same thing you have to explain it to your teacher. Okay, it's the same way of communication. Writing is another way of communication. So when you're communicating to your teacher, you talk to her during the exam. That is where you write these statements. Through this statement, you're telling your teacher that angle A is divided into two parts, PAO and OAQ, 40-degree plus 30-degree. See, everything makes sense. Why they conduct test? Because for each and every student, they can't keep asking questions. So test is also a way of communicating. You're talking to your teacher, you're telling the teacher that you have understood the concept and you're writing it in terms of mathematical expression. Angle A is equals to 40 plus 30, so angle A is equals to 70 degrees. So teacher has understood. Yeah, teacher got to know that you have understood the topic. If everything is right, they'll correct and give you marks. Okay, so geometry, it is totally different from arithmetic. Arithmetic, we don't write any statement. If it is 2 plus 2, we just write 4. That's it. Calculation part. 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. But when it comes to geometry, everything is written in terms of angles and vertex. Angles. Okay, angles and the way you write this. Most important concept. Fine. Today we have done angles. Okay, next one. How do you write 60 degrees and 80 degrees? How will you write 60 degree and 80 degree? Okay, angle AQ and OQA. Okay, last concept, students. Last concept. Another 5 minutes. We'll end the class. Look here. Angle A is made up of how many angles? Angle A is made up of two angles. Those two angles are inside the triangle or outside the triangle. Both angles are interior. Both are interior. Now tell me angle Q. Angle Q is made up of how many angles? Yeah, what are those two angles? What are the two angles? O OQA plus OQA plus AQ, not AQO, AQR or RQA. You can write anything. AQR, AQR, 60 degree plus 80 degree. What is 60 degree plus 80? How much is 60, 80? 140. Okay, angle Q, very good. Angle Q is made up of two angles. What is AQO? Interior or exterior? AQO. Interior or exterior? Interior. AQR? No, no, no. AQR. AQR is exterior. So that's it. Interior angle. What are angle? I taught what is vertex, sides, difference between interior exterior. How to write the angles? Interior angle, exterior angle. When both put together, you just write it as a common angle. So all these topics are done. Tomorrow we'll start with lines. So today angles, we did angles. Yeah, tomorrow lines. Even lines is also important. Have you come across the word corresponding angle? Vertically opposite angle? I think you'll have studied, but you don't know. Yeah, you wouldn't have, you won't remember all those things. Corresponding, vertical opposite. Do you know where those angles are applied? Corresponding angle, vertically opposite angle. Yes, no, or you forgot. Fine, students. Line. The main concept of this was lines and angles. So angles, all the parts I've covered. Okay, there are types of angles I'll teach tomorrow. Lines and angle, and even in lines we have corresponding angles and all those things. We'll complete it tomorrow. Is it clear? Whatever I taught today, did you understand all these things? So attend this, yeah, entire week. This is totally different. Okay, all this I'm covering your 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th standard. All these 4 years, what have you missed? Those topics. Fine, students. That's it for today. Log in at what time? 11:15. Okay, 1 hour is not. Yeah, 1 hour is not sufficient. 11:15 to 2:30. We need at least 1 hour 15 minutes. Okay, that's it for today. You all can leave. And from tomorrow onwards, same. Which app are we using? Teams or Meet? Yes, Google Meet. Yeah, from tomorrow onwards, same Google Meet. Fine, that's it for today. You all can leave. I'll upload the recording. If you haven't understood, go through the recording once again. Okay, bye, students. All can leave.